Awesome. All right. So first, just tell me the latest on this investigation that you guys are doing right here on Slaughter Beach.
Yeah, so currently the Coast Guard's working with our partners in the state of Delaware. So that is the state of Delaware, Delaware Natural Resources and Environmental Control, the Slaughter Beach Fire Department, and a host of others to include contractors that we've hired for environmental cleanup to clean up tar balls which wash ashore from the Delaware Bay onto the coast of Delaware Bay. We're seeing tar balls ashore from Slaughter Beach all the way down to Cape Henlopen and scattered tar balls around the Cape going a little bit south. Coast Guard's currently contracting crews that are out on scene and cleaning up that oil debris and oily sand, and we're also actively investigating the source of the oil which remains unknown.
Okay, so have you seen this in Rehoboth or north of here?
We've seen it in areas north of Rehoboth, though we have received initial reports of scattered tar balls even south of Rehoboth, going down toward the Indian River Inlet.
Okay, awesome. And then just tell me the latest on this investigation. Have you guys sent the sample up to the lab in Connecticut?
Yeah, so we are in the process of sending the samples up to the lab in Connecticut. We've retrieved those samples, and they're in the process of being shipped. We're also working to determine a source and then to also consider sampling others as we determine their proximity to the event.
Okay, and what is that process like with sampling this and then finding other ships to sample?
We look through the records of ships through the automated information systems. That's a system that large commercial vessels are required to transmit their position, similar to air traffic control positions from a air beacon. And we can use those indicators to determine if a vessel was in proximity. We then ask those vessels if they would be willing to provide a sample.
Okay. And then just tell me, I know there's a lot of beach access points that are closed and people are confused about that. What do you want the public to know about where they can and can't go on the beach or what to look out for?
So we, the Coast Guard, have not shut down any of the beaches. That remains a function of the towns where the beaches are located. However, we do inform the public that there is an active tar bar event happening on the beaches of Delaware. We ask that members of the public stay clear of any oil that they see either in debris or along the beach. If the public wants to help, we ask that they stay clear of the oil, again, as a nod to their public safety. But we ask that they take pictures and also send information into the DINREC hotline for reporting oil.
Okay. Next, I guess one more
Can,
question.
can you tell us anything about the wildlife?
Yeah, so we've worked with a contractor to hire on and look after any oil and wildlife. So, can I redo that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We've hired on a contractor, and they've subcontracted organizations to help them care for any oiled wildlife. So they are actively looking for any oiled birds or other wildlife, and are working on ways to rehabilitate and re-release those wildlife.
And how big is that sample that you guys are sending off?
So we're sending out multiple samples. We've received a number of samples of larger tar balls along the beach, so we're sending off those samples.
Okay, like how big are they?
They're about about half the size of a traditional mason jar, is a sample jar.
Great. And so this process of collecting the samples, analyzing them, that's the fingerprinting process we've been hearing about, right?
That is correct. Collecting the samples and analyzing them is fingerprinting. We then look for candidate sources that we can match that fingerprint to and try to determine whether or not that was a source.
So I know that it was released, I believe, on Tuesday that it's a heavy fuel oil, not like crude from a tanker. So is it up to, of course, what you've been able to test so far? Are you expecting it to be a larger commercial vehicle, or are the options still out there? It could be a commercial or a personal vehicle.
Typically, personal pleasure craft are either diesel or gasoline. So we're expecting this is likely going to be a different type of vessel. Again, we're not certain what type of vessel, but we wouldn't expect it to be a recreational vessel with the type of oiling that we're seeing.
Okay. And I know that you have to send it up to Connecticut, and you're saying that, that takes time, obviously, but do you have any sort of timetable for just how long that testing will take?
We're not certain at this time.
Okay. Great.
Oh, I think that was
Okay.
that was my last question.
Okay. Yeah, so with, obviously you're not certain how long it'll take, is that testing and the timetable, is that directly affecting the cleanup process? Do you still need that oil for the testing, or are those two separate things?
Those are two separate processes right now. So we gathered our initial samples to test, and that process is moving independent of our cleanup efforts. Our cleanup efforts remain ongoing and will remain here as long as there's oil on the beaches. We are working diligently with our Delaware partners to try to clean the beaches up as best we can. We want to return those beaches to their pristine state if at all possible. We really thank our partners for working with us and for also helping us to identify areas that are receiving the most oil.
Now, I know that you're seeing a lot of scattered pockets of oil, you said, all the way down to the Cape, and obviously here around Slaughter Beach. Is re-oiling something that you're seeing a lot of? Is that a concern as you're combing through?
So we have crews that are monitoring for re-oiling, and if that is observed, we will keep crews there to clean up the additional oiling. But as of yet, we've not seen significant re-oiling.
Okay, that's great to hear. And I know it's hard to say, obviously, and as long as it takes, like you said, but is there any idea of how long the cleanup is going to take?
There is no idea right now as to how long this cleanup will take. But again, we're working with our local and state partners to try to clean up the beaches as best we can.
Great, thank you.
Anything else?
I'm good.
All right, anything else that you'd like to say we didn't get to touch on, or anything you want to get out there?
Again, I'd like to reiterate that though we really appreciate all the members of the public's concern for their safety, we ask they not pick up the oil or try to attempt to clean the beach. They can help us by taking pictures, noting where they are, and also calling the hotline to advise us that they have seen oil.
Great, thank you so much.